Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. How is everybody doing today? Happy Monday to you. Hope it went well, and I hope tomorrow goes good for you as well. Although I can't say that it will if you're long everything, because the markets seem to be rolling over here kind of in mass. I don't think we're going to get a massive sell-off here, but we're going to get some kind of a sell-off. And I can't say for how long it's going to last, and I can't say how deep it's going to go, but looks like it is rounding over and selling off. So one thing I want to mention here is that almost every single large coin, in fact, pretty much every large coin, has this exact same pattern coming off of these lows. It comes up, it breaks down and comes up again and starts consolidating sideways. These all have this basically the same sideways pattern here, right at this top. If you guys haven't noticed that, you need to keep an eye on these types of things. Litecoin, Ripple, everything has the same type of action. Now, not everything is exactly the same. Obviously, Litecoin looks more like a cup with handle than it does anything else that's failing right now. But everything pretty much has this pattern. Dash came higher than most coins. And another thing that they all did too is they're all testing their longer term downward sloping trend line from the tops in Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? They're all testing these trend lines. All of these coins are doing the same thing. So that means there's some market forces at work here that are pushing these coins. In my mind, I'm viewing this as lower. They're pushing these lower. Another thing I want to mention to you is during these run-ups, pretty much all these run-ups have pretty decent volume, but it isn't great volume. And then we're seeing increased volume at these toppy areas. You see these increased volume spikes. Let's go back to Bitcoin and see if we can see the same thing there. So Bitcoin has actually pretty decent volume here to the upside, not too bad, but we do still see some increased volume at these peak levels. Now green or red doesn't quite matter, but when you see high volume at peaks, it typically indicates selling. Okay. Let's see what we see here in Ethereum. So we see looks like one spike there, a nice little volume peak right here, and then a nice little volume peak right here. And now we're starting to increase on the downside again. Okay, so it looks like there's been a little top in action in place pretty much for the whole market here. This is nice volume though. This is nice volume right here to the upside. So we'll just kind of have to see how this action plays out. The buyers and sellers, they're fighting it out. Um, we need to see who wins. Myself, I've been stepped aside for quite a while. I haven't been involved in cryptocurrencies with my main account since over in this level. It's still underneath where I sold it at, and hopefully I can get in at a pretty good level. Hopefully I can get in at a pretty good level. I have an idea of what is going to happen. I can't say this is going to happen, but I think we're going to go lower, and we're going to have a low somewhere in this area. I can't say if it's going to happen in 2 hours via a big shakedown. I can't say if it's going to stair step lower. But what I can say is obviously we are going to go lower. If we get some support down here, I may nibble at a little bit with my core position. I may nibble a little bit here, and then if we roll over, I'm going to take a small loss and chalk that up to trading. But just in case we do make another higher low, because we do already have one higher low firmly in place, if we have another higher low or a double bottom here, that really could springboard us to the upside. So I'm going to play for a spring to the upside while I'm preparing for a move to the downside. So that's pretty much how I'm going to play this here. All right, so what else is happening? Not a whole lot. Pretty much everything on my board here is red. We see a couple of coins on the green side, but Verticoin here. Yeah, Verticoin kind of doing its thing, getting some pretty good volume, bucking the market trend. So keep an eye on this one going forward. Let's move out a little bit here in the 2 hour chart. So yeah, a lot of choppiness here. I'm not really a fan of this choppy action. I don't like to get involved with coins with that kind of movement. Let's look at spread coin. A little more well defined, but not much. And one thing that is worth talking about is this Internet of People token. So when I looked at this coin yesterday, I was really kind of shocked to see this huge move to the downside. I don't know why this happened. I don't know what preceded this or what caused this, but all I know is that it led to this gigantic movement as of late. Basically a 400% increase right off of these lows. But in my video yesterday, if you watched the whole thing, you were treated to we were treated to a very beautiful chart pattern, which is why I put it in the video. This is a very gorgeous chart pattern. This is what's known as a high tide flag. A high tide flag is formed when you have 100% volume or 100% price appreciation, which this one did. We went down here from 16 up to 32, 33. We pulled back in a pretty orderly fashion in a tight range, okay? Now this isn't a textbook high tide flag. Technically it would have to flag out way at the top up here. But for cryptos that don't necessarily follow the rules 100% of the time, I'm calling this a high tide flag. So this is a high tide flag, and it proceeded to break out right here, and it did chop right around this area. But if you notice, this breakout level was tested several times and held up, and if you were patient with this, you would have been 100% gainer up here. So take a look out for these coins that really don't do anything for a long period of time, and then you see insane price action and a healthy consolidation with a very tight consolidation, constructive volume weakening in the pattern, because then you really set the stage for something special, and that doesn't happen very often. And this can happen in big coins, little coins, but as we see a multitude of ICOs happening in the future and as of recent, you really want to keep an eye out for something like this. So there you go. There's our market recap for today. A little bit of big, a little bit of small, a little bit of everything in there for you. So we're watching Ethereum and Bitcoin kind of break down here. Where it stops, I don't have that answer for you, but you want to look for some volume bottoming. Like I said, I would like to see some action down here. Pretty much underneath this handle would be awesome. I mean, if you can get some action down here, take a bit of a position on, and then if it fails, take a small loss. If it goes up, then you have a really good entry point. So anyway, guys, there's my video. Hope to see you in the chat. I'm going to jump in the live stream here, I think, just to get your guys' view on this. Subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video if you've been watching it. Please like it. It really helps these videos get ranked. It'll help this channel grow, and we'll get a really good following, get some good traders in the chat room, and we'll all be better for it. So, alright guys, there's your market recap. I will see you tomorrow afternoon in the live stream.